Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, one of the biggest weekend events of the year is underway on the Suncoast. The Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix kicks off today with a series of events, including a Main Street block party set for tonight. But before that, it's a chance to meet and greet who's in the driver's seat of those big boats. The Sarasota Hyatt hosting the meet and greet right now for the drivers and throttlemen and all those involved with the race teams for this weekend's Grand Prix. This is your opportunity to meet the drivers, take a few photos, maybe get an autograph as well. The meet and greet started just now and it ends at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the Hyatt. Even if you don't plan on attending the Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix, the event will still affect traffic in the area throughout the weekend. Sarasota police will be closing 10th Street from US 41 into the Van Wezel parking lot tonight through Sunday. Lemon Avenue from 1st Street to State Street will be closed all day today. And Main Street from Orange to Palm Avenue is closed this afternoon until midnight for the block party. You can find a full list of road closures on our website at mysuncoast.com. And don't get into the patriotic spirit too much this weekend, especially if you plan on being on the road. Florida Highway Patrol will be conducting its DUI checkpoints this weekend in Sarasota, Manatee, DeSoto, and Hardee counties. This will all begin tomorrow night at 9 o'clock and runs through 5 a.m. Sunday morning. Florida law considers a driver with blood alcohol level of 0.8 or higher to be impaired. If you're heading out on the water, same deal. Florida Fish and Wildlife will have extra officers out there to keep you safe, and anyone boating under the influence of alcohol or drugs will be arrested. Operation Dry Water kicks off today and will last through July 2nd. And all of this, of course, depends on our weather. And so far today, pretty nice out there. Another warm, hot summer day.
Pretty much what we'd expect at this time of year, and I think that's pretty much what we're going to get over the next several days. So it's good news. No surprises. Most of the shower and thunderstorm activity is going to be in a typical pattern, which will occur late in the afternoon, kind of like it did yesterday. You know, I mean, we got a couple of showers around in the mid-afternoon, and we have about a maybe a 20% chance of that again today, and then during the evening hours, about a 40% chance, about double, as the showers and thunderstorms build inland and move to the coast. So just remember to stay hydrated out there because it will be hot. Certainly, a lot of sunshine out there. Casey Key webcam showing the mix of sun and clouds across the region, especially near the coastline. We'll look for a daytime high that tops out probably around 91 or 2, but the feels like temperature will be even more than that, coming in probably around 104, 105 degrees feels like. We have some showers out in Gulf waters, and there will be a few around during the afternoon hours each and every day over the next several days. And that easterly wind starting to produce a line of showers in Highlands County, which will gradually drift closer to us. Forecast calling for about a 40% chance of rain today. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few, Scott.
Okay, John, thank you. The Twitter feud continues today between President Trump and a pair of cable news hosts. The Morning Joe anchors responding this morning to President Trump's comments yesterday that sparked outrage on both sides of the aisle. ABC's Emily Rao is in Washington with the latest.
You know what? I think it's been fascinating and frightening and really sad for our country.
Mika Brzezinski on Morning Joe this morning delaying her vacation with co-host Joe Scarborough to respond to President Trump's tweets Thursday, ridiculing her intellect and appearance.
It does worry me about the country.
The insulting presidential tweets coming after Brzezinski criticized the president, mocking him for having small hands. President Trump then typing out his retort. Low IQ crazy Mika, along with Psycho Joe, came to Mar-a-Lago 3 nights in a row around New Year's Eve. She was bleeding badly from a facelift. The host denying she had a facelift and was bleeding and making this explosive charge.
We got a call that, hey, the National Enquirer is going to run a negative story against you guys. And they said, if you call the president up and you apologize for your coverage, then he will pick up the phone and basically spike the story.
President Trump again taking to Twitter to respond. He called me to stop a National Enquirer article. I said no. Bad show. His White House staff still not backing down.
I endorse the president's right to fight back when he is being mercilessly attacked and when the airwaves are filled with raw sewage about him and his fitness for office.
The National Enquirer also responding, standing by its story and saying it has no knowledge or involvement in any discussions between the White House and Joe and Mika. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
Here at home, the main road along Casey Key is expected to reopen after a hole caused a section of it to be closed down. A void was discovered under the roadway along Casey Key Road. That void caused a deep and wide hole. A heavy-duty steel plate was brought in to cover it up until repairs could be made. Now, the road was partially compromised, most likely from erosion.
It's wear and tear on the road, overwash from the adjacent gulf. When we have large storms, water splashes up on the roadway and then sinks back down into the pavement and then has the conduit to carry the sand out from underneath the road.
As my wife was saying recently, was hopefully we don't suddenly just drop away someday when we're driving down the road.
Crews with Sarasota County have been working on fixing the problem and fill that hole up. The road is expected to reopen sometime this afternoon. A recall alert for Mazda owners. The car maker is recalling about 228,000 of its Mazda 6 and Mazda 3 cars because the parking brake may not hold or fully release. Water can get into the brake caliper, causing a shaft to corrode. And if that happens, the parking brake can get stuck in the on position or even fully engaged, causing it to roll if parked on a slope. Owners will be notified beginning in August, most likely around the 21st. Getting around Venice is about to get a little easier. The Sarasota Herald Tribune reporting Uber and Lyft will start picking up riders in Venice this weekend. The services come after Governor Rick Scott signed statewide ride-sharing regulations into law. This will take effect at midnight. Uber and Lyft services in Venice will start tomorrow. ABC 7 business commentator Jeff Stern joins us now with a look at the day on Wall Street so far. And Jeff, we had some big losses yesterday on Wall Street. How is that going to affect how we end the week?
Scott, yesterday was not fun. Down 1% for the Dow and the S&P. NASDAQ fell 1.5%. But so far for the week, Dow and S&P right around 0.5% in the negative, while NASDAQ is a full point. Let's not forget, though, for the year, or I should say the first half of the year, Dow, S&P up about 9%, while NASDAQ's running away 15%. Today's the last trading day of the first half of 2017. 10-year Treasury moved up a little bit, about 2.26, so that's all pretty positive. Woke up this morning, the futures were up. Let's see how we're currently trading. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, 21,342, up 56 points, 0.25%. NASDAQ, 6,147, up 3 points, 0.5%. S&P, 2,423, up 4.28, almost 0.25%.
Well, Jeff, Tesla's much anticipated Model 3 is supposed to be coming out next month. Any update on that?
Much anticipated is correct. The news is going to come out Sunday, July 2nd. Mr. Musk is going to share the actual release date. We don't know too much right now. We know roughly about $35,000 it's going to start at. Over 400,000 pre-orders. We know there'll be about a 15-inch horizontal touchscreen in there. Overall, it looks similar to the Model S, just much smaller. The range should be around 215 miles per charge, 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds, although they will offer faster models for sure. Should seat about 5 adults. 5-star rating is what they're going to go for, and pretty cool, the autopilot's going to be installed. It's not going to be active, but it's going to be there. So when we are ready for this autopilot self-driving vehicle, that will be available. We'll see what happens, but if all this comes true, they are going to be leader in that smaller electric car. Tesla so far is trading around $363. Get this, Scott, it's up 70% for the year. This is kind of, it seems like a make or break as far as the cars and Tesla, but so far everyone seems to be buying the stock. Hopefully they'll continue to buy the cars and nothing will go wrong.
Yeah, a lot riding on this Model 3, the model that's supposed to be more accessible to the rest of us and not the high-end Model S, that's for sure.
So you and I and the average folk, for sure.
All right. Jeff, thanks so much.
Have a great weekend, Scott.
You too. And each Friday, ABC 7 culinary director Judy Gallagher visits one of the many fine restaurants here on the Suncoast. And today she joins us from Simon's Coffee House on South Tamiami Trail in Sarasota. Judy?
Welcome to Simon's Cafe. I love this breakfast and lunch restaurant. It's been here for years, right on 41, and it offers so much more. I've watched them grow over the years. This is the quintessential healthy alternative but boastful flavors for breakfast and lunch. They're open Monday through Saturday, and you're going to find such a great variety of some vegan items, some gluten-free items, and good old flavorful things. Simon's is known for their soups. I'm a big fan because there's few ingredients that are just healthy and bright, and they protect the integrity of the ingredients that they're using, as you're going to be able to see with me. So sit back, take this trip with me, and enjoy our visit at Simon's Coffee Shop and Cafe. It's going to be a delicious and tasteful experience. We'll be back in just a few minutes to show you so much more.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
one.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder, high performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world.
If you get knocked down, stand up again. Rip it up again. Give me one chance, give me one chance. I'm gonna make it, make it. Give me my chance, this is my chance. I'm gonna take it.
The new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
For the last decade, SNS Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Warm outside, no doubt about that. We're closing in once again on the 90-degree mark, about where we were yesterday. Our temperature at 88. We have a 74-degree dew point, making it feel kind of sticky. And certainly the humidity aloft is high as well. So there's plenty of moisture available to create the showers and thunderstorms that we're going to see develop later on today. Southwest wind, the beginnings of our sea breeze starting to form, keeping the coastline just a little bit cooler while inland temperatures have already hit the 90-degree mark in some instances. We've got 89 degrees in Wauchula, 89 in Arcadia, 89 in Punta Gorda and Northport and Lakewood Ranch and Bradenton, 88 in Parrish and Myakka, 88 in Venice, and Sarasota, 86 degrees in Longboat Key, and 87 degrees in Inglewood. Multiple instances of almost 94 degrees in inland areas yesterday, according to one of the automated networks. And along the coastline, hit 92, I believe it was, yesterday. And there's no reason we're not going to get close to that again today. Now, you factor in the humidity to those kinds of temperatures, and like I said, you are looking at a very warm 104, 105 degree temperature, which is pretty impressive. So across the region right now, there's not much in the way of any kind of rain falling, though we are starting to see some showers beginning to build. And just as we did yesterday, we'll throw in about that 20% chance of a shower or two building around the 2 o'clock hour or so. There won't be a lot of them around, but there may be a couple of them. And then as we head into the 5, 6 o'clock hours, I think we'll see a whole lot more rain beginning to develop and build and move into our region and become actually some stronger thunderstorms as we head into later afternoon as well. You can already make out this kind of line of showers beginning to move in a little bit closer to us now in Highlands County, and some showers down to the south as well beginning to move northward. The reason is we have this big ridge of high pressure and a general easterly wind flow kind of picking up the Atlantic moisture and slinging it back toward the east coast. That high pressure ridge kind of sinking a little bit further to the south today, helping to enhance our daytime high temperatures and making the winds just a little bit lighter. That will allow for that east coast sea breeze to migrate into our area, collide with our west coast sea breeze, and along that collision zone, the showers and thunderstorms will form and move out into Gulf waters. And that's going to be the case really for the next several days. Don't see much of a change here. So outdoor activities this weekend, you have a decent chance of seeing a few thunderstorms around in the especially second half of the day. Light southeast wind, hot, humid conditions, and then those good rain chances. Sounds like summer, doesn't it? That's pretty much the characteristics of what we'll see over the next several days. Showers moving out into Gulf waters, showers building in inland areas, and then again moving out into Gulf waters both Saturday and Sunday. Rain chance at about 50% or so on those days. So we'll watch that occur. We'll watch light chop on bay and inland waters for you boaters, and we'll look for a 40 to 50% chance of those especially late day showers, early evening showers, and a daytime high that tops out warm in the low 90s. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In health news, breastfeeding may be a healthier choice for your baby. We know that, but it could also lead to some dental trouble down the line. According to a new study in the journal Pediatrics, children who are breastfed for 2 years or longer are more likely to have cavities. The report is based on a study done on children in Brazil. Almost half of them in that study had at least one tooth surface affected by a cavity. But those who breastfed less than 2 years did not have a higher risk. Firing up the grill is probably one of the best things about summer, but it's also one of the activities that sends people to the hospital. Doctors say most cases of minor and severe burns during the summer come from grilling. And if you are burned, the first thing you want to do is cool it down, either by submerging the burn in cool water or applying ice. This will lessen damage to your skin. More serious burns can cause blistering, but don't pop them. Instead, doctors suggest keeping them covered and clean to prevent infection. It's also important to make sure you take the proper procedures to avoid getting burned in the first place.
You want to make sure that you are very careful when lighting the grill. Keep the lid up when lighting the grill. And if you're unsuccessful on the first attempt at lighting it, you should shut it off, let it air out, and then start again and try over.
And in the event of a grease fire or a flare-up on the grill, doctors say it's best to just turn off the gas, move the food, close the lid, and try to suffocate the fire to avoid getting burned or having that fire spread. When we come back, we're going to introduce you to a Suncoast pet who needs a loving home. That's in our Pet of the Week. And then later, summer has brought a lot of heat so far, but rain has been hit and miss. We'll have details on Florida's drought conditions.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
This Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Minute is brought to you by Sarasota Ford.
This year's Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix will feature 2 full days of racing off Lido Beach on July 1st and 2nd. Meet race teams up close during the Boats on Main downtown block party on Friday, June 30th. Don't miss the Grand Prix Fan Fest on July 1st and 2nd, where you can see race boats launch and watch the races live from under a large tent. There will be music, food, fan zones, and vendors. VIP race day viewing tickets are available at SarasotaPowerboatGrandPrix.org.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Looking for something fun to do on a Friday night? Then come to Music on Main, the first Friday of every month at Lakewood Ranch. Enjoy free live music, dancing, great food, and lots of fun for every family member, even the furry ones. Meet up with friends, enjoy activities for the kids, or make it a special date night. And be sure to stop by the ABC7 booth and say hello. Mark your calendars for Music on Main, first Friday of the month, 6 to 9 at Lakewood Ranch. Brought to you by ABC7 and these sponsors. Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Companion to sit on the couch, but she needs her own seat. Okay, not your lap, but she needs her own seat. This is the dog for you. Now, you know, John, that Akitas originally came from Japan. They were the dog of royalty, and they were there to protect, and she is a tremendous protector.
Oh, I bet she is. I bet she's got a good bark.
Oh, well, she's got great bark, yes, and she's just this one of a million. Now, Akitas very much like one owner, and they're not terribly fond of other dogs and cats in the family. So we would highly suggest that if you're interested, she needs to be the queen of her castle.
Do we know about children? Is she okay with children?
She's very good with children, yes, but she doesn't like to have them pull her ears or pull their tail. She's very much a lady. Her favorite position is, though, on her back with her legs up and to rub her tummy. If you can do that for her, you could do that for hours, and she will just stay with you. And she's a kisser. John, look at this. She is a kisser.
Yeah, she's a sweet. 5 years old, you say?
Yes, she is. And that, 5 years young, and she's got a good life ahead of her. She's been checked out by our staff of veterinarians at Dante's Den, and to our knowledge, she is in great health.
Do we know if she's housebroken?
Yes, she is housebroken.
Okay,
yes, yes. She and another thing that we love about her, we just let her roam. And she roams with us, and she's, in fact, I have to tell you, before I got on set with you, John, I went to the washroom, and I brought her with me, and I shut the door, and she, that's the camera, and she found the way out underneath.
She's a smart
So
dog.
she's very smart. Akitas are very, very smart.
Well, give them a call at Dante's Den if you want to adopt this beautiful dog. She is a sweetheart. Akita Rescue of Florida is 289-8899. And oh my goodness, what a lovely dog you would get.
Absolutely. Thanks, John.
You're quite welcome. Thank you, Marcia. Happy 4th, by the way.
And the same to you.
Thank you. Scott?
That's an impressive bark, that's for sure. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll hear from Marcia once again, offering some tips on how you can keep your pets safe during the 4th of July fireworks. Back to lunch now with Chef Judy Gallagher. She's joining us today from Simon's Cafe in Sarasota.
Welcome back. I'm here with Tyler Kirby, who's one of the family members, owner and manager right here at Simon's. We're so happy to be here. Tell folks that maybe haven't been here or haven't been here in a while, what is Simon's? How long have you been here?
We're a family-operated restaurant that we employ all local people. We are really health-oriented, and we strive really to make fresh food all to order.
And it really shows. Now, you have some unique ingredients. It's not all vegetarian. There's some really healthy bread. So let's talk about some of the options when people come in for breakfast and dinner. Besides what's on the table, we're going to get to that in a little bit. But what are people expecting here, and what are some of the other features that you want them to know about?
Well, we're really proud about how we roast all of our own beef, we roast all of our own turkey, we slice that ourselves, we cut all of our vegetables so they'll come in all fresh, they'll come in all whole. So we can really, like you said earlier, we can protect the integrity of all of our ingredients.
And you do a lot of takeout. Do you do catering as well?
We do a little bit of catering. We gear more towards doing like wraps for catering or doing like whole casseroles and pies and things. More like rustic home cooking kind of style.
You know, I've loved coming here for years, and I have to tell you, in season, it's very hard to get a table. So this is the time of year to come in and experience Simon's. For a first-time visitor, what should they expect?
I think they should expect a highly sociable atmosphere. We're trying to be as inviting as we can be for all, different types of walks of life. So we like to have it where an old, grandfather can come in and get his corned beef Reuben, and his granddaughter can come in and get her vegan salad or sandwich. That's really what our goal is.
It's a great mix of a lot of people, and I've actually shared tables when you've been really busy with people. It's a great way to kind of meet new neighbors and meet the community, exactly. And when your servers was just sharing, just the other day, they had 3 tables of people that lived here 20 years and never been here. So to those people, we want them to understand, like, how many soups a day do you have? Because your soups are so well known for.
Well, we try to provide 6 different soups every day for all the different types of people, from being vegan to meat soups.
So much more to offer, and go nowhere, because we're going to show you this food that's on the table in just a few minutes.
It's a star-spangled 4th of July sales event going on now at Bacon's Furniture and Bedding. With 2.5 acres, Bacon's is Southwest Florida's largest furniture showroom. Beautiful furniture in any style for any budget, with savings of 30, 50, even 70% off throughout the store. Celebrate your independence with extra savings on all Flex Steel furniture. Come see why Bacon's is voted the #1 place to buy furniture year after year. The 4th of July sales event going on now at Bacon's Furniture and Bedding in Port Charlotte. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Drive into Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota and discover big savings during the Drive and Discover event. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Drive off in a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $18,999. Get a new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. Or purchase a brand new Jeep Renegade for as low as $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
How long have we been married, dear?
For 76 years.
He was kind and generous to me before we married, and he was kind and generous to me all these years. We decided on Meals on Wheels because I was getting to the point where I couldn't do all the things that I had been able to do. We're the Spans. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
As a singer-songwriter, it's all about creating high-performance art that moves people. Same is true in making gorgeous cars. Fiat designs it. You're the artist.
Choose your palette just about any color combo inside out. No small wonder, state-of-the-art style Fiat.
Now this moves me.
Let the art of Fiat move you at Fiat of Sarasota.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Topping our news this half hour, tennis star Venus Williams is being blamed for a car crash that led to the death of a 78-year-old man. And now the victim's family in South Florida is filing a lawsuit against the tennis star. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more.
Police in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida stress that it was an accident, but still fault Venus Williams for a car crash that killed 78-year-old Jerome Barson and seriously injured his wife, Linda.
She is devastated. This is the man she loved. She's been married for 35 years, and she is absolutely devastated.
The family has now filed a lawsuit. The accident happened on June 9th, just days after the 7-time Grand Slam champion was eliminated from the French Open.
Rescue 67, responding to area 63, vehicle accident.
According to the police report, Williams had a green light when traffic forced her to stop in the middle of an intersection. A witness says Williams's light turned red with her SUV still in the middle of that intersection. And when she was able to drive forward, she stepped right in the way of an oncoming car. Linda Barson, the driver of that car, told police her light was green. Williams said she never saw the other car coming. The police report estimates that Williams was going 5 miles an hour and claims Williams is at fault for violating the right-of-way, even though as of this morning, she has not been ticketed or charged.
Unlikely that she would be determined criminally responsible for the death of the man.
Williams tells ABC News that she had a green light. She calls it an unfortunate accident and extends her deepest condolences to the family who lost a loved one. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
A sad start to the holiday weekend for a Pennsylvania family after their teenage daughter is killed in a road rage incident. Police say 18-year-old Bianca Robertson was shot in the head by another driver as the two tried to merge into a single lane yesterday. The victim's car veered off the road and was later found in a ditch. Investigators say the shooter fled in a red pickup truck. Robertson had just graduated from high school and was heading to college in the fall in Jacksonville.
To that man who fired the shot, turn yourself in now. Every second you are out there, you are only making this worse for yourself and worse for this young lady's family.
Robertson is described as loving and full of laughter. Counselors are at her high school to help students deal with the loss. Well, here in Florida, a soggy month of June has put an end to the state's drought. According to the Tampa Bay Times report, the U.S. Drought Monitor found that drought conditions affected large areas of the state by the end of May. But a new monitor map released yesterday shows no dry conditions anywhere in Florida. The rains dramatically reduced daily water consumption across the region and returned most rivers to normal levels. The return of our summer thunderstorms, though, have also turned deadly. There have been 3 fatal lightning strikes in the United States so far this year, and 2 of those have happened in Florida. The most recent lightning strike happened in Fort Myers yesterday. That's where a pregnant woman was struck. She was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. So the good and the bad there. We needed the rain. We got it. But with these storms, they sometimes can be become very powerful and have a lot of lightning in them.
Deadly, and it's surprising because you may hear the lightning, but it won't hear the thunder, but it won't be raining over you, and you think you're safe and you're fine.
Yeah.
And in fact, it can strike 10 miles away from a parent storm. And people get electrocuted inside their home talking on corded phones or playing with those game consoles, wired game consoles, or with their hands in a sink full of suds, doing the dishes. They can get electrocuted with a pipe conducting the electricity. So lots of ways to get hurt if you're not careful. We have across our region some, again, lightning storms most likely in the forecast right straight through the weekend, looks like. Van Way's a webcam showing some blue skies out there, also some fair weather clouds to start the day. And we also have them in process right now across the region. We are looking at those clouds kind of moving in and bringing us that chance of rainfall this afternoon. About a 20% chance over the next couple of hours, but a better chance as we head into the evening at about 40%. And those storms will have the same motion each and every day for the next several days. That is, they'll build inland, they'll move to the coast. Complete forecast coming up in a few, Scott.
All right, John, thanks. In Washington today, President Trump and South Korean President Moon Jae-in are having a second day of meetings. The President and Moon speaking to reporters in the Oval Office this morning. The president says he wants to start reducing the U.S. trade deficit by renegotiating a trade deal with South Korea. A free trade agreement between the two countries took effect in 2012. Since then, the deficit has increased from $13 billion to more than $27 billion. The president says the existing trade deal is bad for U.S. workers and hopes a fair deal can be made for both countries. The U.S. also wants to make sure South Korea is on the same page over details with North Korea's nuclear threat. Overseas, former President Obama and his family were hosted by the Indonesian president at his palace. This is the tail end of the family's 10-day vacation in Indonesia. Earlier this week, the former first family visited a resort island of Bali, toured sweeping terraced rice paddies, and then went river rafting. The former president spent his early childhood in the country. His childhood home there, in fact, is now a museum. The 4th of July is an American tradition full of festivities for humans, but it's not always a festive time for our pets. ABC 7's Jacqueline Matter joins us now with some tips to ensure a safe Independence Day for our four-legged friends. Jacqueline?
Good afternoon, Scott. With the excitement of the holiday, it can be easy to forget that not all traditions are a good fit for your furry friends. There are a few tips to help keep your pets safe, healthy, and happy this 4th of July. First, keep pets inside during celebrations. Fireworks can be terrifying for pets and can cause stress. Be sure to keep your pet inside in a safe place if you can, and close the doors and windows. Also, you could leave the TV on for them so they don't hear the loud noises. Leave your pet at home if you are going to the beach. Sometimes strange places and large crowds could spook the animal. Also, make sure your pet wears an identification tag. That way, if they do escape or run off, the ID can be used to ensure your pet is returned back to you. Watch for unsafe foods and decorations, and also keep your pet away from the grill and any alcohol, of course, as well as sparklers, glow sticks, fireworks, or anything that could harm them. Marsha Panucci with Dante's Den says more pets run away on the 4th of July than any other day of the year.
In the next few days after the 4th of July, we are going to get a voluminous amount of calls. We have a lost dog. This dog came into our yard. We don't know what to do with this dog. And I can guarantee you that in most cases, it's because of the 4th of July activities.
Owners should also have a clear, recent photo of their pet in case the animal does run away. If a pet escapes, post its photo on social media, on flyers around town. Also, your pet may have been found by a neighbor or taken to a local animal shelter, so make sure to check with them. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Jacqueline, thank you so much. The Bradenton Marauders playing at home this weekend and hosting a fireworks display as well. The Pirates minor league team will host the Tampa Yankees tomorrow night at Lecom Park in Bradenton. Game time is set for 6:30, and then a fireworks show sponsored by Budweiser will take place right after the game. There's also going to be a patriotic-themed jersey auction and a free shirt giveaway for the first 2,000 fans into the stadium. Let's get back now to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, joining us today from Simon's Cafe in Sarasota. Judy?
Tyler, let's get right into the delicious cuisine you've put down on the table today and start with this beautiful roast beef sandwich.
Well, right here we have our in-house roast beef with cheddar cheese and a Bavarian baked bread made fresh every single day that's brought to us. It's served with horseradish, onions, tomatoes, mayo, and mustard.
I call that for my lunch, just so you know.
That's our London.
It's
our take on English, yep.
And over here?
This would be our Medici sandwich. It's our all-day breakfast sandwich, so you can always have an egg sandwich here during the lunch period. But that is actually on our local gluten-free lavash bread from Sammy's Bakery up in St. Petersburg, and it's served with our own basil pesto, mozzarella cheese, portobello, and spinach.
Oh, it sounds great and so healthy.
This is one of our more popular sandwiches over here. This would be the Krishna sandwich, and we call it the Krishna because it is a bunch of vegetables served with goat's cheese and our own Indian dressing, which is like a sweet, sour, spicy, and tart dressing that people really like.
I love the boast of flavors in that. Over here?
That's very renowned. That is the raw lasagna. So it has no pasta in it. It is zucchini noodles with a date and tomato pomodoro sauce and our own cashew cheese. It's all been layered together and it's all served cold, so it is not a hot dish and it is all raw.
I love it. And over here with the salmon?
That's our Scandinavian smoked salmon Caesar. So we serve it with our own Caesar dressing, which is not actually there right now, but it is very nice salmon with our own baked croutons, lettuce, Parmesan cheese, and grape tomatoes.
Oh, this is so hard to wait. And the veggie burger?
Actually, it's our black bean burger. It is vegan and gluten-free if you choose not to have the cheese on top. We serve that on our own focaccia hamburger bun with veganaise, lettuce, tomato, and onion, and avocado.
Incredible. And the salads, that's my favorite.
Zorba the Greek is a special that's been here for years. I would say it's been here all 16 years. It is a grilled spanakopita, which is a phyllo pastry with spinach and feta, our own made sesame hummus, and half of our Greek salad.
It really is a trip around the world when you're coming here. And this sandwich?
This is our take on a vegetarian Reuben. So it is our own tempeh that we bake in-house with Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, a vegan Thousand Island, and avocado as well.
And we talked about the soup. Did we get to this awesome black bean yet?
That is our everyday favorite. It's been here, like I said before, 16 years, and I swear there'd be a mutiny if we ever got rid of it.
I think so. There's so many great soups on the menu today. Butternut coconut, curried vegetables, split pea, veggie chili. So, I mean, you can really get into so many different things. I have to thank you, Tyler. This has just been so delicious and so much fun. And remember, there is still dessert to come, so please come back in just a few minutes. Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you, Judy.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if your loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Beautiful shot looking over the Ringling Bridge. It's a very crisp day today, although we do have a lot of humidity and a few fair weather clouds, but certainly some very strong shadows indicating a very bright sun out there on Tower Cam. And that sunshine is going to take us to some very warm afternoon temperatures as well, up around the 92-degree mark, something like that. We're at 88 already, and we do have a dew point value coming in at 74, so it's a warm dew point out there. Southwest wind as well comes in at about 8. That southwest wind helping to bring that humidity not only at the surface but aloft as well, and that's going to certainly keep our temperatures feeling even warmer than they actually are. 90 in Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, Lakewood Ranch, Parrish almost there at 89. Along the coastline, just a little bit cooler, 86, 89 in Venice, 87 in Inglewood. With the cooler temperatures near the coast and the warmer temperatures inland and even cooler Gulf water temperatures, it's the recipe for a sea breeze. And that sea breeze circulation already beginning now with that southwest wind flow. Now, aside from the sea breeze right along the coastline, and here we're picking up a few showers now, just as we did yesterday. A few scattered showers, about 20% chance of showers during the next couple of hours. And then a much better chance that some of the showers that we see inland begin to work their way a little bit closer to us a little later in the afternoon. Those showers will give us about a 40% chance of rainfall near the coast as well as they move inland and counter our sea breeze and sort of blossom into a much wider coverage than we currently are seeing with just a few showers that we've got. The southeasterly wind flow that's kind of driving or steering these storms toward the west will be with us right straight through the weekend. Don't really see any changes there. With this high pressure ridge sitting over the deep south, you got to have that easterly wind flow, and that's what we're going to have. A lot of showery activity throughout the deep south, but nothing that's causing any airport delays. The big story will probably be back to the west and up through the Ohio Valley, where there's a much better chance of severe weather today. These areas in yellow indicate a slight risk for some, perhaps even tornadoes, but certainly some strong gusty winds and some large hail as well. Now, for the state of Florida, we're looking at just a standard kind of thunderstorm risk today, including lightning and perhaps some gusty winds under some of these storms. High pressure, the dominant weather feature. Easterly wind flow continues again today. A sea breeze builds as it already has started doing. And where the two collide, that's where we see our showers build and then move out into the Gulf waters. That'll happen today, it'll happen tomorrow, happen the day after, happen over the course of the next work week as well. The showers move out into Gulf waters during the later evening, and then tomorrow afternoon they build in inland areas once again and drift out into the Gulf waters. It's a pattern that we're just really not going to get away from anytime soon. Now, the heaviest of the rain will indeed fall in inland areas, but we'll still get some half-inch rainfalls or better right along the immediate coast with some of these dying storms. Tropics look good. There's no worries here straight through the holiday weekend. We like that. The Atlantic has a few tropical waves, but really is kind of devoid of anything large scale. And certainly Gulf waters, Caribbean, and near Atlantic are quiet. Forecast calls for daytime highs in the low 90s and about a 50% chance of rain. Scott?
All right, John, thank you so much. At this hour, race teams are meeting with their fans at an event on the Sarasota Bayfront. It's all part of the 33rd annual Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix. ABC 7's Ray Collins was there and has more.
It's meet and greet the drivers here at the Hyatt. We're going to greet one driver right now. In fact, a throttle man, Jay Muller, is here from New Jersey. And Jay, you've been to this race 10, 12 times. How it has evolved over the years?
You know, this race every year gets bigger and bigger. The fans come out in droves. They're out in spectator boats. The beaches are packed. It's great. It's really a great race site.
How about the race fans? You see 10 to 12 races a year. How do these fans compare to other places you race?
They get really fired up in Florida for some reason. I don't know why. They love the sound of the boats and the speed, so it's great racing down here.
You're a throttle man, not a driver. Why did you gravitate toward that position?
I'm not sure. Just since I was young, I always liked throttle and race boats, and my smaller boats, I was always more into the throttle man thing than being a driver. And watching boat racing as a kid growing up down the Jersey Shore, watching the Benihana, I was like, I want to be a throttle man since I was like 8 years old. So,
any tips for those on the beach watching racing? What's the best way to watch?
The best way to watch is, pick a boat out and pick the class out. It's a little hard to understand watching from the shore, but you pick the class, and whichever boat's out front, that's who you got to root for all the time.
Well, I hope it's you.
Me too.
All right. Thank you, Jay Muller, down from New Jersey for this race. He's been here 10, 12 times, says it's gotten bigger every year, so watch for Jay Muller, the throttle man on the WHM Motorsports boat. I'm Ray Collins at the Hyatt. Now back to you in the studio, Scott.
All right, Ray, thank you so much. If you're heading out to the Grand Prix this weekend, any of the festival events, including the block party tonight, be sure to send us some of your photos and videos that we can feature on our newscast. Send it to our website, mysuncoast.com, or to our Facebook page. Up next, Sharon Osbourne and a few others not too happy about a new line of shirts that the Kardashians have put out. The image that has the sisters apologizing to them. And he's a dog that is partial to Bach and Mozart. And a symphony's performance that's going viral on social media thanks to their furry friend.
The Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio charmed us all and crippled the competition. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
Get ready for the most hair-raising event of the summer. Feld Entertainment and the Ringling Museum present international circus superstar Bello Knott in Incredibello, a gravity-defying, laughter-inducing, super stunt performance live at the historic Oslo Theater. Don't miss out on the must-see event of the summer, Incredibello, playing June 13th through July 29th. For tickets, visit ringling.org today.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining. Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
Alfa Romeo got a lot right with the Giulia. But the handling alone is sufficient reason to get one. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
And now perhaps the favorite segment of any lunch with Chef Judy out here is to have dessert. They have beautiful cheesecakes. This is actually made with nut cheese, so it's non-dairy. They also have great versions. You can order whole pies if you want. And this bread pudding, look at this, with the cream sauce, unbelievable. Fresh strawberry rhubarb pie, how seasonal. Cappuccinos, you have the hot mocha or the iced mocha cafe, lattes. There's so much to offer here at Simon's. Whether you're getting takeout or hunkering in, you can see by the size of the tables, it's great for gathering with friends. But when I say there's something for everybody, there's something for everybody, and for me, it's a piece of bread pudding. I'm going to send it back to you guys and have a really great weekend.
Judy, thank you so much. The youngest Kardashian sisters receiving backlash for their latest line of t-shirts. Kendall and Kylie Jenner's vintage shirts show their images with those of famous musicians such as Ozzy Osbourne and the late rappers Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. But after receiving complaints from Sharon Osbourne and the mother of Biggie Smalls, they were removed. Both sisters issuing an apology on social media. Sharon Osbourne tweeting they didn't have the right to put their faces with musical icons and they should stick to what they know, which is lip gloss. The shirts were selling online for $125 a piece. Jay-Z's new album is a hot topic. The 444 album reportedly talks about his rocky relationship with his wife Beyonce, including infidelity rumors. He also apparently opens up about his wrongdoings. This is the rapper's first album in 4 years. Sony Entertainment going back to what it knows, the music company announcing it will start making vinyl records again for the first time in nearly 30 years. Now, Sony stopped making records back in 1989 when compact discs became so popular. But vinyl sales have been growing for the past 7 years. Sales, in fact, could reach $900 million this year. How about that? And this is my favorite story of the day. A dog that knows his classics. A music-loving Labrador crashes the stage at an outdoor festival in Turkey. The Vienna Chamber Orchestra was performing a symphony when the dog casually strolls on stage. The musicians kept playing and the audience just loved it. They started clapping. The dog eventually just sat down, got comfortable, and yawned. He stayed there for about 5 minutes before getting up and leaving. One Turkish pianist called this the cutest moment in classical music. We lose the super there. You can see the dog a little better. There we go. Just sat right down.
That is pretty great.
Eventually.
I love the fact that the audience was applauding the dog.
Yes.
That was just very touching.
Because it could have been kind of awkward, but oh my gosh.
Right.
But those are the kind of things, it just makes it even better for everyone.
In an outdoor concert, you know,
yeah.
You just got to have fun.
Yeah.
That's cool. We have some scattered showers in progress, nothing really heavy, certainly nothing severe anticipated, but they will be around throughout the afternoon, each and every afternoon for the next several days. You know, it's going to be hot too, so we've talked a lot this week about lightning safety, but we haven't talked as much about making sure you stay hydrated over the weekend, because you're going to need to do that.
Lots of water.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great weekend. If we don't see you again, hope you're back though at 5 o'clock.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.